attacking me. Sexual harassment. Duh.
Okay, this may be triggering for some people who have been through sexual assault or rape, and if this is triggering to you, we suggest that you do not watch this video because it may not be a good thing or a healthy thing for you. Viewer discretion is advised. Stop attacking me. Sexual harassment. Okay, so we're gonna talk about sexual harassment and rape and all of the surrounding. And first we want to let you guys know that it's never okay to be sexually harassed or raped or sexually assaulted. So we're going to talk about this today. We might want to start with the story. Let's do this easier. We both have been, and I know there's a lot of other people out there that have been through sexual harassment or rape or sexual assault, and we have been through both. I think we've been through it several times, but I think that, so when I was 5 years old, someone close to us, someone close to the family, I'm not going to mention any names, this person may or may not be living, this person, we don't know this person anymore. When I was 5, I was molested. It's not something nice to go through. It's actually something very traumatizing and heartbreaking, and at a very young age. Basically, I lost my innocence, and it was something that throughout the years I haven't been able to overcome, or I'm a little bit more overcoming it, but it's something that will never go away. It's something that scars you for life, and it's something that sadly you have to carry on with life. And how this happened, I'm not really going to share as much details on this, but basically, because I don't want to share those details so much because of the fact that this person was a little close to us. So there was trust, I guess. I don't know.
It was like trust that was broken.
It was a trust that was broken, exactly. So it's something that I wasn't able to trust men. I was actually called a man hater a lot because of the fact that I had such anger against men and against them doing whatever they wanted to women, that I basically rebelled and got my anger against them. They used to call me man hater, and that didn't affect me at all. I mean, it bruised me so much that I had to grow with something and feel dirty and feel like it was my fault in a way when I was just 5 years old, and I didn't even know what was it called or what any of this was. And basically finding out about what sexual relations were in a later time in life, like when I was 13, 14 years old, that we got sexual education in school, is when I came to find out what had happened to me. And I couldn't understand why this happened to me, but it shuttered me from the whole world, and it just shattered my world. Not believing in men, not trusting in men, not being scared of them, but at the same time feeling like I hated them and that I had something against them. And this is one of the reasons why. There was a lot of reasons. There was a lot of reasons why, but this was the main reason that I hated, I felt like I hated men. Don't get me wrong, I was always attracted to men, but this was the main reason that I could not stand men. I couldn't stand males, I couldn't stand boys, I couldn't stand men at all. Like, I didn't want to see them near me, and I would fight with them, and I couldn't stand that they would tell women that they deserve to be in the kitchen and that's where the place is made for me. I don't believe in that. I don't think that way. But this is one of the reasons why. And yes, I've been through a lot of various situations where I have been sexually harassed, and it's not okay. And it's always best to talk, because when I was such a young kid, it's not that I was taught to shut up, but a lot of those times we were taught that our feelings were a sin and that we shouldn't talk, we shouldn't express ourselves. And our way of expressing ourselves wasn't as good. We weren't taught as well to express ourselves. But this is
especially
why I say
towards women.
Exactly. It's like
women.
We grew up in an era where, or the era has changed, but we grew up in times where our family was taught that women belonged cleaning the house, regardless if they had jobs. they belong cleaning the house, they belong in the kitchen learning how to cook. And it to me, it was always unfair, and I always had like this anger because I'm like, well, they tell women if they know how to cook. I personally, since I was 8, my parents have taught me, or my mom has taught me how to cook, and my dad knows how to cook as well. But personally, when someone tells me, well, do you know how to cook? Because everybody's impression of nowadays women, they think that all of them just microwave food, and I don't usually microwave my food unless I'm at work, and that's because I made it at home and I can't cook my food at work. That would be weird. But I microwave my food at work because it's cold. So going back to the subject, this is one of the reasons that I couldn't stand men. It did first start with rape, with sexual assault, and my world was basically shattered for a while. And sometimes Martin even himself sees the anger and frustration that I feel. And I have a close friend who actually told me that she went through something in her life, and it was very heartbreaking. And that's when I ended up noticing that I'm not the only one that goes through those things. I'm not alone, and actually someone very close to me went through something similar. And if you could share your story.
So I've been through sexual assault, and it was once when I was 7, once when I was 16, and once when I was 18. And from 3 different people. 2 were from related, not exactly one of them was related, but married to somebody related. And one was my ex. The first time I was sexually assaulted was when I was around the same age. It was like 7. And it was from a family member. And it was a time where close to Christmas or passing Christmas, and everybody was everywhere. And it was like a moment where back then and today, kids aren't really shown when to say something's wrong is happening. Like they don't, like their parents don't say, okay, being touched this way and this way is bad. But that, even though you don't know what's going on or what's happening to you, it still changes you. Like me growing up after that, I would dress like a boy. Like everybody that knows me like since little knows that I dressed like a boy. And I sometimes acted like one too.
Right, so it scars people differently.
It's like Joanna, it was like Jojo. It was hard for me to express it because we were raised in a way where women had to shut up. We couldn't show emotion because it was a sin in a way, and we couldn't do certain things or talk about certain things because it just wasn't allowed.
Right, we even know someone who actually threatened someone related to us to shut her mouth because she was sexually assaulted, and she was threatened. And it really angered me because honestly, I in my heart believed that if this person would have spoken, this person was a lot older than me. This person at the time, I believe, was either 13 or 14 years old when this happened to her. And if she would have spoken, what happened to me and what happened to other people would not have happened. And the reason I say this is because that person that did that to this certain individual is the same person that did that to me. So if someone would have spoken, this would have stopped. This would have been broken. But I honestly agree with Lisbeth. We were not taught exactly if a certain person did this to us or a certain person, because I guess through our mind, we never thought that those people would actually betray trust and disrespect and hurt someone like that. So yes, her trust was broken, but the damage was done, and after years we are still repairing the damage, and there's damages that are never going to be repaired. And there's a lot of other people that go through the same thing and don't realize that if you don't talk, you're not going to fix the problem. And I don't mean fix the problem by fixing what happened to you, because that's never going to be fixed, but you can stop it from happening to somebody else. So I think that it's very important for people and individuals to understand that it is not your fault. First of all, it is not your fault. No matter what people say or think about you, you don't deserve, and you deserve respect. You don't deserve to be touched. Nobody should touch you if it's not consensual. If you don't want this to happen, if you're a minor, you should not be touched, period. But people need to understand that we need people that go through the similar situation need a lot of support. And instead of telling them to shut up, threatening them to shut up because they're afraid of their little image or the person's little image, there's a lot more important things out there there's lives being destroyed that will never be repaired again. And what's honestly more important, somebody's reputation or somebody's well-being? Because quite honestly, we feel like we have been put to the back of something that's not important, because things happened and they cared more about the person's reputation than our well-being. And I think that's very ironic, and we're still in disbelief about that, but knowing that it did happen because it happened to us. So the more people speak about the situation, the more people come up, and I know it's hard to be brave, and especially in a vulnerable state like this, but it's best to talk and find people who support you, because we need people to talk. This situation needs to get a lot better. It needs to stop. Like, there's so many kids being destroyed and not being able to be the same. They're breaking people, and it's not fair. You know, it's something that everybody as society needs to get together and needs to talk and support one another, because this isn't right. You know, there's so many kids that are going through the same thing, and they go through the same damage, and then that damage lasts for years. I mean, I was years broken, not being able to function, hating the world, even hating God because of what happened to me. And he has no fault, but this needs to be reported so that it could stop. I mean, the more we report it, I'm hoping that the less it'll happen.